Of course, in honor of Black History Month, each and every day here in February, we are featuring notable businesses and people and events that highlight Black and African American culture here in our community.
And Secure Financial Partners is a company based in Kernersville. They dedicate themselves to helping all of their clients plan for their financial future and reaching their goals.
So joining us this morning live is Secure Financial Partners Managing Partner Terry Edwards. Terry, it's wonderful to have you on the show this morning.
Good morning. Thank you guys so much for having us and also highlighting all these amazing Black businesses here in the Triad throughout this month. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We want to make sure that we can do the best that we can to highlight some of the impact that you all are making on our community. So we have to start with just the beginning here, Terry. What are some of the things that Secure Financial Partners actually offers to the community, and what is the impact that you've seen from some of those things?
Amazing. Yes, here at Secure Financial Partners, we like to say this: we protect the things that matter most to people: their life, their health, and their wealth. And we also help people who want to create an additional stream of income. We help train people to get an insurance license and also be able to create a second stream of income. So with life insurance, we do all types of life insurance. We do the term, the whole life, universal life. We do all types of life insurance. We actually partner with about 30 different companies. So regardless of a person's health condition or their age, we have a product to help them meet their needs. And we have clients, all the time. People are dying every day, believe it or not. We know there's one thing about life is that none of us are going to get out of this thing alive. We're all going to die. And when we're able to sit down with the family, when they're going through already an emotional, traumatic time, to make sure that they have things in order, they have the funds in place to cover the funeral, to pay for a child's education, to provide for their family after they're gone, that's one of the most rewarding things about our job. We also help people protect their money against the stock market going down. The stock market right now is very volatile, and people are looking for safe places to put their money. So we have accounts that work sort of like car insurance. You got car insurance, so if you get in a car accident, the car insurance company repairs the car and put it back in the condition like it was before it was in an accident. We have products that protects your retirement money. So when the stock market goes down, you don't experience any loss, but when the market is doing well, you make very good returns on that money. So we're helping ease even seniors' fears of, will I outlive my money?
When you're talking about life insurance, Terry, what are some common misconceptions, would you say?
So some of the common misconceptions about life insurance is, number one, I heard this all the time: I have it on my job, Terry. Well, let me ask you this right here. Life insurance on your job, while that's great, it's a benefit. And we know about benefits. Sometimes when profit margins get thin, companies cut benefits. Even with retirees, back in 2019, Sears, they terminated all their retirees' life insurance. So while life insurance at your job is good, you need to have something that you own and can control. I like to ask clients all the time, would you like to put the financial future of your family in the hands of your employer, or would you want to take responsibility for that? Another misconception is life insurance is only good to bury the dead, which is furthest from the truth. Today, most life insurance policies have what we call living benefits. If you're ever diagnosed with a critical, chronic, or terminal illness, oftentimes you can get access. They will pay out a percentage of the death benefit to you while you're still alive. And there are policies that build up cash value that you can use to be your own bank, to fund college retirement. Heck, even J.C. Penney himself in 1929, he used the cash value in his life insurance to keep that company afloat, to pay wages. Same as Walt Disney back in 1955. In 1980, Doris Christopher, who started Pamper Chef, she started that company using the cash value from her life insurance, and just a couple of years ago sold that thing to Warren Buffett for $1.5 billion. So life insurance is just not to bury the dead. Another thing that I hear all the time is people think it's too expensive. They have a misconception that life insurance is actually 5 times more expensive than what it really is. And the last one that I hear a lot is a lot of people think that they're not going to qualify. And the cool part about working with a company like mine, Secure Financial Partners, we have carriers that will cover anybody, regardless of your health, regardless of your wealth, and regardless of your credit.
Wow, Terry, thank you so much for all of your insight. I know there's a lot more where that came from, so let's put the website on the screen for folks to always stay updated. And do we have that website? There we go. I just want to make sure everyone learns more information from securefinancialpartners.com is the website. I'm sure there's a lot more that Terry can share.